أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم دستور مدد يا صاحب السعيد شابة الكروس يا رب المدد. We need to ask permission from our Sheikh to speak. We are not Ahli Bidah, that is making things up. To say we're asking directly from Allah. Allah sent the prophets, and the prophets sent their waris, their inheritors to us. If you want to reach to La ilaha illallah, first you have to walk in the way of the Prophet, Muhammad Rasulullah. Without Muhammad Rasulullah, you will not know La ilaha illallah. Or you make up your own La ilaha illallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created everything for the sake of that holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And all knowledges that Allah created is also for him. He came 1400 years ago, and for 23 years he taught and he trained those ones who were the worst, those ones who were burying their children, those ones who were committing tyranny to the poor, to the orphans, to those who are less fortunate than them. Those ones, when they found wealth suddenly pouring in, because everyone is coming to the Kaaba and they're using the Hajj by putting up idols all around the Kaaba, so that everyone comes to make a business. Don't forget, one of the reasons why they're not accepting La ilaha illallah is they say we're going to lose our business. One God? We have over 360 gods. So if you're going to take all and leave only one, who's going to come? How are we going to keep up with this lifestyle that we have made for ourselves? Holy Prophet ﷺ transformed those ones into the best after the prophets. And their names are written in golden alphabets until Judgment Day and beyond. These are the companions of the Prophet. These are the ones who have sacrificed their lives, their children's lives, their parents' lives, their wealth, their families, their connections, their friends, their loved ones, their security, their peace, everything. None of them said, we sacrifice all this to follow Allah. The problem, even the mushriks at that time, they say we believe in Allah, but we need all these other ones too. We believe in Allah, but we need so many other ones. One time, they made a deal with the Prophet ﷺ, that later fitna entered into the history of Islam. That time, and in the Akhir Zaman, and the shaitanic people, the Dajjalic people take that fitna to spread more fitna. saying, Holy Prophet ﷺ, he heard wrongly. Instead of hearing from Jibreel alayhi salam, he heard from Shaitan. They say he was influenced. Satanic verses. They say. So the mushriks say, okay, we believe in Allah, but at least keep the daughters of Allah. Keep certain ones to keep everyone happy. Yeah. And what did Holy Prophet ﷺ say to them? So many today's Muslims, they say it's okay. Let's compromise. We make more interfaith. We believe in what you believe. You believe in what we believe. Your religion is my religion, and my religion is your religion. Isn't that what so many groups they are doing? Interfaith. Equal. Allah is saying the complete opposite, and they are doing the opposite. Why we are reciting Surat Al-Kafirun every single day? Because the Ummah within Islam, we have copied the lifestyles of the unbelievers. We have followed the shaitan. We have listened to the shaitanic whisperings, and we have followed it. Don't think it was only in the first Jahiliyyah that the Kaaba was turned into a business place. Isn't it what is turning right now? Aren't they surrounding the Kaaba with so many idols? Oh, they're not idols. What is an idol? You like, you admire, you follow. You spend so much time. The ilah. They're surrounding the Kaaba now with shopping malls. Isn't it? With that big shaitanic clock tower, that now instead of staring at the Kaaba, it is worship just to look at the Kaaba. Worship. Like it is worship just to look at the ayat of the Quran. You don't have to know. Just looking at it, it is worship. You get the rahmat, you get the nur, you get the blessings. The Muslims now, instead of looking at the Kaaba, they're looking at the big Dajjalic Nimrud tower of the clock. So many, so happy. MashaAllah, they're saying, we've made progress. More curse falling to those ones. And those ones who are going for the Hajj and for the Umrah, and they're staying in high-class hotels, tall, so high, surrounding, staying in those ilah towers, and looking down to the Kaaba. The Kaaba is at their feet. Don't think they're going there to collect blessings. More curse is coming. The Sahaba Kiram, they gave up everything. They sacrificed everything for the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ described them as the best of the Ummah. The best that's ever been created other than the prophets. Yeah. So, our original question, our brother asked, how are we going to improve our adab? First, we're asking permission from our Sahib al-Saif, from our Shaykh, that great friend of Allah, for support to speak. Just as the Sahaba Kiram, they asked the Prophet support to speak and to do anything. The protocol still continues today. If we are asking help from those ones who are close to Allah, Allah will send us the help. Allah is saying in the Holy Quran, seek means to come close to me. Find ways to come close to me. In so many ayats, Allah is saying, if they only obeyed Allah and His Prophet, obey Allah and His Prophet. Allah and His Prophet you must obey. Allah and His Prophet. Always Allah and His Prophet, and for 1300 years, no Muslims have any issue with that. Because Prophet is representing Allah. In 1400 years, never any Muslims worship the Prophet. But today, squarehead Muslims, with their lifestyles following the kafirs, they think they know better, and they say that is a shirk. To ask help from the prophets, from the holy ones, that is a shirk. The shirk is going to fall on top of their heads. So they destroyed everything in Mecca because they say it is shirk. They destroyed the graves of the noble companions of the Ahlul Bayt in the Janatul Baqi because Muslims were going there asking for their shafa'at. And Prophet ﷺ is saying, I am the arch intercessor. I am the biggest shafa'at. Prophets are going to ask me for shafa'at. Why you don't say that time? And the prophets, they're making shirk. Why they don't ask directly from Allah? And Allah is saying in so many ayats, if only they had asked you to pray for them, to forgive them, you would find Allah answering their prayer. Adab? That is an adab. Adab, it is the spirit of the dargah. Why in the dargahs we have adab yahu, adab yahu, adab yahu everywhere. It is not knowledge. It is adab. Adab is knowing your limits, knowing where you are, where your Lord is. Shaitan had so much worship, he had so much knowledge, but he lost his manners. He lost his adab. He had so many deeds that he did, none of us can do. He did not leave a single space on the face of this earth that he did not put his forehead down to make sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he lost his manners. How man can stop that? That is just shaitan making you to do that. How man can lose his manners? Instead of asking how to improve our manners, which we don't have manners these days anyway. Manners is not just to put your hand to your heart and to walk backwards. That's not manners. Manners is knowing your limits. Manners is submission. Manners is obedience. Manners, it is knowing where your knowledge ends and where you have to go to get more knowledge. Manners is knowing yourself, then knowing your Lord. But ask ourselves, what are the things that's stopping for us from having manners? That is key. What is it that's stopping us from having manners? Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my teacher, and He taught me the most beautiful manners. So the manners that we should be emulating, imitating, following, are the manners of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That he has shown 1400 years, and those ones who are walking in his footsteps, they have carried those manners. Those manners cannot be contained in books. Those manners are taught from heart to heart, and it is a living tradition. It is not published. It is not sold in Barnes and Nobles. It is not sold online. It is never. It is going to be for money. Surround yourselves with people who have manners. Surround yourselves with the sheikhs and the awliya Allah who are real and they are following the way of the Prophet. If they have prophetic manners, they have manners. What is stopping us? One is disobedience. We don't want to follow anyone. I know myself. I'm following myself. I will not bow down to someone who has higher knowledge than me. Majority of the Muslims now, believe me, when Mahdi alayhi salam comes and says, now you must give bayat to me, majority, they're going to refuse. They're going to say, who are you? We have to give bayat to you. You think obedience and submission is just going to happen overnight? If you are not trained and you did not understand what bayat is, you think that time when it comes, you are going to do it. Islam is not magic. And when Isa alayhi salam comes, yes, there will be Christians who will leave their foolishness and they will come to haqq, to truth. But there will also be Muslims who says, why we have to follow a leader? Why we have to follow a guide? Isn't that what is happening now? Are we supposed to follow directly Allah? So disaster. Disaster that time. And we see what the disaster is happening now. You don't have to be a saint or a scholar to know this. Because what is the Shaykh going to teach you about manners? What is the Shaykh going to teach you about your worship? He's going to teach you how to remove the veils between you and your Lord. What is it that's stopping you from achieving the manners of the prophets and the saints? They are going to say, look at yourself. Understand the enemies that are inside of you, that is putting up those veils between you and your Lord, and remove them. No one has the ability to remove them except for you. They are going to teach you what your anger is. So many, majority, everyone is angry these days. They have everything. They are being provided with everything. They are angry. Angry in reality is angry to Allah, because a believer will not be angry for himself. He is going to be accepting. He is going to understand. He is going to look at the wisdom behind it. When do you have the right to be angry? If you are angry for the sake of Allah. You are angry because haqq is being covered. And even then, first you're going to look at yourself. You're going to see how I covered this haqq in myself. Then he's going to look at those ones that are following, that he is following. He is going to look at the Jamaat, and he's going to say, we must go according to this, not by themselves. The Shaykh is going to tell you, the anger is stopping you from having manners. And this anger has so many thousands of divisions. Never ending. The Shaykh is going to show you arrogance that you have. And you think, I don't have arrogance. I'm okay. But you cannot see yourself. And he's going to show you, he's going to refine, he's going to take away every speck of dirt. At least he's going to let you to see. Jealousy and your stubbornness. Hundreds and thousands of branches coming out from these four enemies. If you are starting on this journey and you're knocking yourself wall to wall, you're looking at yourself, where is my stubbornness today? Where is my jealousy today? Where is my anger today? Where is my stubbornness? What I did today, Ya Rabbi, forgive me, and I make intention to become better. And you are looking and you're trying to fix yourself. That time, that one, he has manners. Because he's always fixing himself. He's getting better. Because he's always fixing himself. He's not going to be stubborn. So many, they are stubborn. Their stubbornness is stopping them. Maybe they are not so angry people. They're not so arrogant people. But the stubbornness stops them. Get rid of it. This is the Jihadul Akbar. This is the biggest jihad. The small jihad is what we do physically. To pull the sword and to fight in the name of the Khalifa for the sake of Allah and His Prophet. There is no Khalifa, there is no call for jihad now. But the bigger jihad, the Jihadul Akbar, continues. Ask yourself, really? Am I fighting with myself today? Am I really fighting the Jihadul Akbar today? Or am I letting everything to go as I like, as my ego likes? You'll come to an answer that time. These words are for you and for me. Inshallah Rahman, if there is benefit in it, which there is, take it. If you don't like it, leave it. You take it, you'll win for yourself. Because we are saying we are in tariqat, but it is a joke. We are in the tariqat, in the way of the Prophet, but so many people, they are taking it as a joke. It is not a game. We should not let it to become a game. Understand, Holy Prophet ﷺ, he did not come to the battle of Badr saying, I am Habibullah, I can do so many miracles, my Sahabis can do so many miracles, I'm guaranteed we are going to be successful. He did not. But so many Muslims, they're going out to face the shaitans and say, so what? I just say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, everything is going to go away. I'm just going to say Madad, everything is going to go away. But they're not taking precaution, they're not submitting. Let me tell you about the Battle of Badr. Don't think that when the Sahaba Kiram, the Muhajirun and the Ansar, under the leadership of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, when they heard that the mushriks, they are coming to attack them, don't think suddenly everyone just got together, they start planning what to do and everything. They did not. Holy Prophet ﷺ heard that news was coming. And he heard that they are going to come to attack. Not just to attack, to finish. To finish the Prophet. To finish the Muslims. To finish Islam. That for how many years in Mecca? 13 years in Mecca. None of the Sahaba Kiram took out even a small knife, a knife to defend themselves against the mushriks who were torturing, making them to suffer, humiliating them, taking away their rights and everything. They did not defend themselves. 13 years. Don't think that they are different from us. They are meat and bones like us too. They have children. They have parents. They have friends. They have loved ones. They have aspirations. But when they met the Holy Prophet ﷺ, everything fell away. They say, you, only you, Ya Rasulullah, because you are bringing us to our Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they submitted themselves to the Prophet. They did not complain. 13 years is not 13 months. It is not 13 days. If we are tested that same way, we're saying we are tariqat, following in the footsteps. Stop that. That is another thing from shaitan. See, man is not looking at himself in the mirror, he's not going to see. Shaitan is locked up, but is by remote control, is ordering and is controlling so many people. So you see, even during Ramadan time, they still become shaitanic. Why is that? Because Shaitan trained your ego good. He says, now I'm going to go, and the ego is going to take over. So you see people, they're still continuing. Some, they get worse in the Ramadan. Because the ego wants to prove to, I can do a better job than Shaitan. Sahabe Kiram, they were people like you and me. They feel pain, they feel hunger. But they submitted themselves to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And while the children was being killed, their parents are being tortured, they're going through hunger, they did not go to the Prophet ﷺ to complain. To say, what kind of religion is this? What kind of way? What kind of spirituality is this? You say Allah is most merciful, why He's not helping us? Did you ever read something like that? Tell me if you did. Tell me this is not submission. You think they were submitting themselves to Allah? Allah sent the Prophet. Yes, through submission of the Prophet they submitted to Allah. They went through all the most severe hardship. Allah was testing them. They did not have a drop of doubt or complaining in their hearts against their Prophet. They say, Sami'na wa ta'na. We hear and we obey and we follow you. We follow you. Understand, old woman, she was following Holy Prophet ﷺ. Just because of that, they were not doing anything. Nothing. They just say, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. And that old lady, they tie her leg to one camel, and they tie the leg to another camel, and they rip her apart. Because she says, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Those ones, they were martyred so that we can say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah easy. Are we even thinking about them and thanking them? Or are Muslims busy with dunya and their own small little problems that they make to themselves? Or thinking they're so high level, we don't have to do this. We're looking at illusions and delusions and maqams now. Whole family, they are being boiled alive because they believe in the Prophet ﷺ. So many of them like that. They did not leave the Prophet ﷺ. 13 years they did not defend, they obeyed. So when they came to Medina and they heard they were coming, the mushriks are coming to destroy them, don't think that they ran to the Prophet and says, what are we going to do now? We have to. No. They looked to the Prophet ﷺ. Prophet is not saying anything. They submitted. They have already submitted for 13 years there. And Prophet ﷺ is saying, we will not move until Allah gives us the permission to move. Until Allah gives me an order, I will not move. Some ones, especially from the Ansar, they're not able to understand so much. They did not go through what the Muhajirs, they went through. They helped a lot, yes, but they did not go through the same way. They were not trained in the same way. And they say, what is going to happen if they come and they attack us? Prophet ﷺ is saying, then we will be shaheeds. We will be martyrs. We will not lift one finger unless Allah gives us the order. Understand that. This is not a game. This is not just love that so many people, I love Shaykh Maulana, I love Shaykh Abdul Kareem, I love. But we are seeing they cannot endure any little pain that comes to them. What kind of love is this? Now compare ourselves to the Sahaba Kiram, hang down our heads and say Astaghfirullah alazim wa atubu ilayh. And when the order came, Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, Allah is saying, now take your swords and strike. But know it is Allah that is taking the life, not you. And they were so happy. They were so happy, not because for revenge they were happy, which so many people, they're being patient because they're waiting for the day that they can take revenge. They were happy because Allah gave them an order. Allah communicated with them. Allah spoke to them. And it is their chance now to make Allah happy. They had only 2 horses. They only have a few swords. So many of them, they just took sticks. They took stones. They took anything that was around. They didn't have armor. They didn't have the technology that the mushriks had at that time. But what did they have? They have a full heart. They had a love, and they have a submission, and they're willing to die. They went into that war not to say we're going to come out to become victorious and we're going to win. No. They went there to say now is our chance to die for the sake of Allah and His Prophet, to prove our submission. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down. He said, we promise you 3,000 angels. He sent down 2,000 to help them. That the mushriks, even the mushriks, they saw that this is not normal people who came on horses. That these were angels. If we are remembering these warriors of Badr, all 313 of them, and offering our respects, maybe some fatihas for them, but no one is thinking. What are you thinking? You're not even giving fatiha for your father. So many years, not even reading one yasin. Until Shaykh and he say to you, then, oh, okay. Because that battle will continue. The Battle of Badr ended, yes. That was the first battle, and the last battle, they are linked. And the 1,000 angels that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised for the Battle of Badr is going to come in the last battle against the Dajjal. So now, we should prepare ourselves. Not to say, I'm this or I'm that, but look to the Sahaba Kiram at the Battle of Badr and look where we are. Those who are working on their obedience, they're working on their obedience, they're increasing their obedience and their submission. Then we are preparing ourselves for that battle, for that fight. If we are not, and we are still in the illusion and delusion world, then most likely Dajjal is just going to pick us up just like that. May Allah protect us. May Allah keep us on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us to step on our ego and to remove the veils between us and Him, to become obedient servants. We are for our Shaykh. We are not for anyone else. May Allah raise the station higher and higher. Al-Fatiha. Amin.